The photo on his secret phone showed him holding a baby I'd never seen. A baby with his eyes, his smile, his dark hair. A baby that wasn't mine. My name is Sarah. I'm a 40-year-old divorcee, and this is how I discovered that my husband of 15 years wasn't just having an affair. He was living an entirely separate life with another family. While I was packing school lunches and planning our family vacations, he was playing daddy to a child I didn't know about, kissing another woman goodnight, and lying to my face every single day for 3 years. I met Michael in a coffee shop on a gray Seattle Tuesday. I was 24, stuck in a marketing job I hated, daydreaming about being anywhere else. He was sitting at my usual table, charcoal suit, expensive watch, the kind of green eyes that made you forget what you were saying mid-sentence. "I think you're in my spot," I said. "I was wondering when the owner would show up," he smiled. "I've been committing cafe theft for 20 minutes. I should have walked away. Instead, I sat down." His name was Michael Rivera, 30 years old, commercial real estate. He'd grown up in San Diego, had a poorly trained golden retriever named Cooper, and a way of listening that made you feel like every word mattered. He asked about my dreams, my family, my fears. Nobody had ever asked me those things before. We fell fast. Within months, he had a drawer at my apartment. Within a year, we were planning a future. Within 18 months, he proposed at that same coffee shop, getting down on one knee with a sapphire ring and promises that felt carved in stone. I believed every word. He cried when I walked down the aisle at our wedding under golden leaves. My father told him, "Take care of her." And Michael swore he would, with everything he had. We honeymooned in Italy, talking about 2 kids, a girl first, to keep her brother in line. He was so specific about it, so certain about our future together. Emma was born on a snowy February morning. Michael cut the umbilical cord with shaking hands, tears streaming down his face. "I'm your dad," he whispered to her. "I'm going to spend every day making sure you know you're loved." Jacob came 2 years later. Michael threw himself into work, bigger projects, more travel. Denver, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Portland. "Big deals," he'd say. "I need to provide for our family." I understood. I stayed home with the kids. I started a blog about parenting. I built a life around supporting his ambitions. But small things started feeling wrong. His phone was always with him, bathroom, trash duty, everywhere. He showered immediately after trips. There were clothes in his closet I'd never seen before. When I called his hotel in Portland, the front desk said no Michael Rivera was checked in. "Wrong hotel," he explained. "There are 3 Marriotts. I'm at the one by the waterfront." I checked. He wasn't at any of them. April came. Emma was 7, Jacob was 5. I was cleaning out the hall closet when my hand closed around something in the pocket of an old coat. A phone I didn't recognize. No pascode. One unlock away from the truth. The messages started with recent texts. Can't wait to see you tonight. I miss your face. Michael, miss you too. Should be there by 7. She was real. And she was pregnant. Very pregnant. Then the photos came. Her at restaurants. Her in a dress I'd bought. Her in his arms with the easy intimacy of people who'd been together forever. Her holding a baby, 6 months old, dark hair, Michael's exact eyes. His son, born 8 months ago. While I was planning Emma's birthday. While we were taking family Christmas photos. While Michael was lying next to me every night, holding me, telling me he loved me. I threw up in the bathroom. Then I threw up again. I found her name, Melissa Torres. Real estate agent. worked at his firm. Her Instagram was a gallery of their life. My little family. So grateful for this life. Her Facebook said she was in a relationship. Not married to him. He hadn't even had the decency to marry her. I found financial records on that phone. A separate bank account. An apartment in Bellevue, their apartment. Over 000 diverted from our marriage to fund his secret life. That's when the numb shock turned to rage. I called a divorce lawyer on Monday morning. Patricia Morrison. Jessica had recommended her, tough, thorough, done with people's bullshit. I brought everything. Screenshots, photos, timelines. Patricia listened without interrupting, then looked at me with respect I didn't deserve. You've documented this exceptionally well, she said. Michael was served at work. He called me furious. What the hell is this, Sarah? It's divorce papers, Michael. For your betrayal. Your double life. Your son. Sarah, I can explain. I don't want explanations. I want you out of my house. He tried everything to change my mind. Flowers. Voicemails. Emails about how sorry he was, how he loved me, how it wasn't like that. I forwarded them to Patricia and blocked his number. The hardest part wasn't the divorce. It was telling the kids. Emma was old enough to understand something was terribly wrong. Did Daddy cheat on you? She asked at bedtime. Yes. Are you getting divorced? Yes. She was quiet for a moment. I'm mad at him. You're allowed to be mad. I'm mad too. At 7 years old, my daughter was learning that heroes fail, that trust can be a weapon, that people you love can destroy you. I hated Michael for that most of all. Jacob was 5. He just asked, "When is Daddy coming home?" Every day for a week. The truth came out in waves. Friends found out through the divorce filing. Colleagues found out when Melissa's relationship with Michael imploded. He'd lied to her too. Told her I lived in California, that we barely saw each other. She called me devastated. I didn't know, she said, crying. Then you're one of the lucky few. Michael's business crumbled. Clients left. His reputation evaporated. Within months, the golden boy had become a cautionary tale everyone whispered about. He ended up alone in a small apartment, his relationships with both families fractured. Each new girlfriend lasted a couple of years before the pattern repeated. He paid his child support. He showed up for visitation. He slowly, painfully, began understanding what he'd done. But understanding doesn't undo damage. 1 year after the divorce, I went on my first date. His name was David. Divorced father of 2. Kind. Honest. Almost painfully honest, telling me up front about his own failures. I don't want to waste your time, he said. I'm not ready for anything serious. Neither am I said. I just want to remember what it feels like to talk to an adult man who isn't my lawyer. He made me laugh. For the first time in years, I remembered what that felt like. 5 years after finding that phone, I married David at the same vineyard where I'd married Michael. It felt like reclaiming something. Emma was my maid of honor. Jacob walked me down the aisle. Michael sat in the back. And when David promised to always tell me the truth, I saw Michael understand what he'd lost. David's vows were simple. I promise to always tell you the truth, even when it's hard. No secrets. No lies. Just me every day. I cried. 10 years later, I'm standing in a kitchen David and I bought together, holding a life I built with my own hands. Emma is in college studying journalism. She calls twice a week. She's learned caution, but she's still open to love. She just questions it now, which is wise. Jacob plays varsity soccer. He maintains a cordial distance from Michael, which is healthy. My career plateaued at comfortable. I help other women survive betrayal now. It's meaningful work. It matters. Michael is on wife number 4 or 5. I've lost count. Each relationship lasts a few years before imploding in the same pattern. He's aged poorly, stress and regret etching his face. His business never recovered. He exists on the periphery of our lives now, just a man who pays his obligations and shows up for the kids. I don't hate him anymore. I feel sorry for him. He had everything and threw it away for the feeling of having more. And me? I'm happy. Genuinely, deeply happy. Not the desperate, clinging happiness I had with Michael, always afraid of losing it, but the kind that comes from knowing you can survive loss, rebuild yourself, and build a life that's real. David came up behind me at the sink, wrapping his arms around me. What are you thinking about? Everything. How far I've come. Better, he asked. So much better. I think about that moment sometimes. Standing in my bathroom, holding that secret phone, watching my entire world disintegrate. It was the worst moment of my life, but it was also the beginning of my real life. The truth was brutal. It destroyed my marriage, shattered my children's security, and forced me to question everything. But the truth also set me free. If you're living my nightmare right now, if you've just discovered a secret phone, a hidden account, a double life, I want you to know, you will survive this. Not today, maybe not for a long time, but you will. You'll discover strength you didn't know you had. You'll build a life that's authentically yours, not a reflection of someone else's lies. You'll learn to trust again, carefully and cautiously. Your story doesn't end with betrayal. Betrayal is just a chapter, a painful one, but not the conclusion. Don't make excuses for behavior that doesn't make sense. Don't convince yourself you're paranoid when your instincts are screaming. Trust yourself. Your gut is usually right. You deserve honesty. You deserve fidelity. You deserve a partner who chooses you, openly and consistently without secrets. If that's not what you have, reach out. Find a therapist. Call a lawyer. Talk to someone. You're not alone. And one day, sooner than you think, you'll wake up and realize you're happy. Really, truly happy. The kind that comes from within, not from someone else's choices. That's the life waiting for you on the other side of this. If you've been through something similar, comment below. I'd love to know your story. Please like, share, and subscribe. My name is Sarah. I'm a 40-year-old divorcee mother of 2, who is falling in love again and now knows to always trust your instincts. Your gut is usually right. Your worth isn't determined by someone else's inability to see it. Take care of yourselves because who will?